Güte, hab ich getan? Oh yeah, heck, I'm on my end. That's not how it should be. I can't ping Jacobo for some reason, so let's just do Sofa versus Jacobo. Jacobo, I have no idea I'm gonna pronounce them the German way, simply because I am German. My name is also Jakob, or Jacob in English, I guess. And as you can tell, that is quite the similar name. And yeah, I have to get ready because I'm gonna be honest, I learned about this about an hour ago, and I was sadly not able to fully get ready here for the stream, as in I couldn't prepare most of the things here in advance, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, that just means that we will have more fun here, getting set up and everything like that. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, as this of course is a Division 1 match, we will do this over here on DCL Tetris, or DCL Tetris 1, depending on how you wanna call it. And I'm just also needing Jacobos over here, somewhere, DCL, Thirsty Jacobo, perfect. Boom, Thirsty Jacobo. And yeah, this only takes like 2 minutes at most likely to set up. I will not do the flags, by the way, because I don't want to do any accidental flag weird things over here. Jacobo, Sofa, boom, boom, and we are ready to go. Also, based on what I can see, it looks like SaltedSofa is on, assuming that we're gonna play on my stream, when it said we're gonna play on DCL Tetris. So it's just gonna say, hi, we will play on whoop. I mean, optimally, he already saw that, but just to be sure, let's ping Thirsty Jacobo, let's ping Sofa about the correct channel. Because here all DCL matches are supposed to happen over here on DCL Tetris 1. We're, at least as far as I know, not supposed to stream on the other channels, like our own private channels. And yeah, other than that, as far as I know, we are ready to go, and hopefully also ready to go as soon as possible, because I have my own match coming up at 17 UTC, which is in around about 50 minutes. That's gonna be in PAL DCL Tetris. So yeah, optimally we finish until like 45, because then we can just go over to raid DCL PAL DCL Tetris. So yeah, let's see if that will work out. I do hope so, but I am not fully sure. Yeah, let's see if the players in chat. I mean, I can see that Jacobo is in chat. I'm just waiting on Sofa here. In the meantime, I'm already gonna do the seed in the chat, so that Sofa... No, sorry, so that... also, I made a small mistake there. No, of course it is. And oh, at the end, too used to my own name and made a small mistake there due to that. I mean, happens. There's much worse stuff that can happen. And yeah, I hope that Sofa saw that we're gonna play over here on DCL Tetris, but it looks like he is now switching the stuff, so perfect. Means we should be able to start the match in just a few minutes. And yeah, welcome in the chat, Artix, as they are saying this is gonna be a sick match. I am pretty sure that it's gonna be an amazing match. Does always depend a bit on how the players perform, of course, but I expect this to be like a really high level match. And don't worry, so far it's just a 5-minute timer that we had here, basically. Not too bad. We saw you warm up a bit, and you know, warm up is always happening. So yeah, don't be like, oh, I'm sorry, be like, nice warm up that I was able to do, because that is how we should do stuff. We should always be positive. And yeah, once I see your readies, I can start, or like we can start game number 1. The seat is correct on both of your sides, which means we're just waiting on, yeah, Sofa pressing select, as he just did, or also hover 3, of course. So to start game number 1, it's gonna be a 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And as you can see, both players have already started game numero unos. Which of course is quite positive and exactly what we want to see. You know, players starting early and so on. So yeah, let's see how this will go in the end. Are we gonna be able to see some amazing dash action? Are we gonna see some really amazing dash action? Because that's kind of the stuff that I expect here. But already here on Sofa side, we can see the small SPs here in column 3, 4 that needs to be adjusted for. But you're getting the next TPs over, which means burns can now happen at least 2 lines, which are gonna put the left side into a much more playable position, as we can see here. And yeah, Jacobo in the meantime able to catch up to the points that Sofa had. It is 105 against 101, meaning it is now neck and neck here between these 2 players. And next Tetris here to Sofa. Sofa most likely gonna play 1 high here for the foreseeable future. Optimally until you can do a perfect world transfer. Sometimes you just have to, you know, change that beforehand. Before the world transfer can happen, the world transfer. And on Jacobo's side, we can see a few small burns over here. And yeah, no, next Tetris to Sofa, next Tetris to Jacobo. And just to make sure that I'm actually gonna set up the correct flex here, I believe it is double USA. I'm just trying to double check that. Ah, no, it was Canada. Canada, okay, perfect. And that's why I don't do them in advance, and I'm not fully sure. Because I'm gonna say that this second or so that it takes me to set them up, or like here the beginning of the match, is totally fine, because now we can see the correct flex over here. Yeah, 246 for Sofa, 164 here on Jacobo's side. Meaning at this point, Sofa was able to get around about a 100k lead in against our American player, Sofa. I mean, I said 2 American flags, I believe, and that's true. Canada is part of the North American continent, which means it is an American flag, just not US American like United States. Big difference, of course, there, at least to me. Don't know how others feel about that. I just always differentiate between the continents and the countries of that. So yeah, let's see how now the second half will go. You can see Sofa already having a massive lead here. It is 327 against 178, so around about a 150k lead here for Sofa. As Jacobo is now, still cleaning this up. Jacobo has been burning for quite a long time. So let's see how, Jacobo will be able to perform now that he is open and clean again. Will Jacobo be able to maybe find a way to catch up to Sofa before 19? Or will the lead be kind of the same? At least Jacobo was able to get in a nice S-pin here. Which means next Tetris to Jacobo into 216. And on Sofa side, small double triple here. Few burns at least. Which means Jacobo might be able to get a small lead in depending on when the long bars fall down. But Jacobo also had to close the well now. Sofa might be able to go for center world Tetris here. Yeah, he gets the pieces for a nice center world build up. So just waiting for the next bar here to fulfill the center world Tetris. Getting the Tetris into center world Tetris for Sofa. 410 for Sofa against 223 here for Jacobo. Now at closer in lines, and yeah, we can see the lead is... It's obviously still massive for Sofa, but I believe if we take the lines into consideration, it's actually still the same as before, so it's still 150k points lead here for Sofa in game numero uno. Or game number one, depending on how you wanna, you know, call it. If you wanna call it a bit more fancy, a bit more standard. And next set is Jacobo, while Sofa as being high here has to burn a few lines. And we can see the lead has increased now only to about 130k in lines taken into consideration. So yeah, Jacobo was able to play a bit more efficiently here now in the second half of 18, but just as I said that, Jacobo needs to burn, Sofa needs to burn. I believe Jacobo in theory had a better, like easier bar to clean up, but Sofa got the next Tetris in now. Having two small holes and transitions at 476, so 476 transition for Sofa, 329 transition for Jacobo, which means 140-ish K lead here to Sofa, as Sofa needs to burn here in the beginning of 19, and so does Jacobo. Jacobo is once again open though, while Sofa still has a single hole here in the stack that he's now trying to clean up, and potentially only, yeah, a few lines, was 3 lines away from cleaning that up. Is now open for the next Tetris, where Jacobo is now high and needs to clean this small situation up here. Needs a J piece, for example, for the left side. Gets an O piece instead, which means Jacobo is now getting quite high here. Once a long one for column 3, perfect number here into column 3 for Jacobo. Nice triple that he just got. It's nice. Next small burns here, but doesn't get the long bar over. Lost death here. J piece also being an issue. Jacobo needs something for the left side pretty much now. He does not flip the bar. Bar doesn't go over on Jacobo's side, which means we are gonna have a 1-0 for Sofa. Unfortunate death loss here on Jacobo's side, which has resulted in him, yeah, losing the first game, sadly. So, game number 2, seed is gonna be 22 in the beginning. Will start in a 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And yeah, in this game, both players were able to get 2 Tetrises in so far, but Jacobo had to burn a few lines, which means now 13 lines he only got 2 Tetrises, while Sofa already has 3 Tetrises. And yeah, it looks like we have a bit of a drought here happening now. Let's see how bad of a drought this will be. We can see on Jacobo's side that he is open. We can see on Sofa's side that Sofa is burning, like cleaning this up, which means optimally it's only gonna take a few more lines here for Sofa to clean this up. But yeah, now left side, right side, both need long bar dependencies. Got the first bar here, soon gonna be open on the left side once again. In the meantime, Jacobo getting 2 Tetrises in, which means we have 85 for Sofa against 128 for Jacobo. Jacobo having played a few lines more, about 5 lines, so it's more like a 110 against 129 if we take the lines into consideration, which means about half a Tetris or so lead here for Jacobo, which is a small lead, but important nonetheless. And yeah, now Sofa once again burning a few lines here. Kinda similar to what we had in the first game, just reverse the roles. Meaning whereas in game number 1, Jacobo fell behind quite early in points. In this game so far, Sofa fell behind by quite a lot in game number 1. And welcome in the chat, Maedros. By the way, I hope that you are doing well now and that you were able to overcome your sickness that you had on like earlier in the week. Yeah, 162 on Sofa side, 204 on Jacobo's side. Sofa once again burning a few lines. And Maedros confirming back on the feed. Perfect, that's exactly what we love to hear. And yeah, back to this game, we can see that Sofa is finally open here once again. And thanks for the raid, Dobrishkos? What the heck? I don't know how to pronounce the full name, I'm just gonna call you Dobry as I always do. Yeah, thanks for the raid, and I hope that you had an amazing time over there at, I believe it was TNP Gold. And now we are here at DCL Champions League, which is the highest level Tetris, like DCL Tetris action currently happening, at least that I know of. Maybe there's something else that's also happening in DCL that I don't know of. But yeah, as you can see, we have Sofa against Jacobo. Sofa already won game number 1, and we're now in game number 2. The one thing that's special about DCL Champions League is that we play in a format that's inspired by the UEFA Football or Soccer League, meaning that we play best of 6s. You can get a draw, in which case both players get 1 point for the standings, or you can get a win, in which case the winner does get 3 points for the standings. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What's special about DCL Champions League in terms of how the games are run, I believe. Other than that, standard 18 all the way, SPS, so yeah, what we're used to. What you can also see... Oh, actually, that's the point on Sofa side. I forgot how we have to do a small adjustment later on Sofa side. We have to have the Hertz input display shown, and I believe both players don't have that. I mean, we can see that they are using DCL anyway, so it's not like it's a big issue. Just need to remind the players about that before the next game. And that's, by the way, also the one thing I always forget is the handcam and Hertz input display. It's just something that I'm not too used to, despite doing the DCL Champions League streams now for both seasons, so like half a year. Back to the game. 434 for Sofa against 394 here for Jacobo. Jacobo having played 4 lines less, so taking that into consideration, we currently have a neck and neck. Yeah, 439 for 17, that's a bit less than a Tetris is worth, so taking that into consideration, neck and neck. The actual points as they currently are, of course, a small lead here to Sofa now at 545 against 541. Small burns here on Sofa side, small burns here on Jacobo side, as you have a small drought here. Next Tetris to Jacobo, next Tetris to Sofa. Sofa transitioning in 5 lines, Jacobo transitioning in 8 lines, which means both players could get 2 Tetrises before our level 19 transition. 506.19 for Sofa. Jacobo also potentially getting a 500k transition if you can get the last Tetris. He knows that there should be a long bar coming up before the transition, but instead he decides to burn in a 491, now getting the bar and Tetris to Jacobo, which means he have 536 here for Sofa. Sofa was a bit dirty in the transition, which means he couldn't go for too many Tetrises against Jacobo, who got a pretty clean transition in, but now needs to burn a few lines here. In general, looks like both players were able to survive the level 19 transition and don't have too many troubles in their stack, just a few burns here and there. But Sofa already getting the next Tetris, so Sofa is once again running away a bit in the points here. And yeah, Jacobo now at level 21 and 533 against Sofa at the end of level 21 at 620. Which means yeah, Sofa has like a 2.5 Tetris lead here, I believe, against Jacobo. Jacobo looks like finally going for the next Tetris to Jacobo into 562. Sofa getting a bit higher here, taking a few burns now as he has a dirty stack. Cleaning this up, and welcome in the chat, Annie, saying, oh, the Sofa. Oh, cut him 3 bar 1 piece later would have been amazing here for Sofa to get a dirty Tetris in. Sofa open once again at 643 and 177 lines, so at the end of level 23. Yeah, Jacobo was able to catch up a bit here. We can see 670 for Sofa in level 24, so let's see the score that Jacobo will get. He would go for one more Tetris. And we're just waiting for the next bar here on Jacobo's side. And he's going into 662, so in pace at that point was only a few thousand points of difference here between Sofa and Jacobo. Again, Sofa has played like 10 lines more, so yeah, there's always going to be a bit of a shift in favor of him, unless Jacobo manages to play much more efficiently. And I'm doing well so far, Annie. Thanks for asking, and I hope that you're doing amazing. And of course, all the other people in chat, I also hope that you're gonna do amazing and are having fun here watching these two DAS experts battle it out between them here. Our small mistake here on Jacobo's side, this is gonna require Jacobo to burn a bit. And we can see point-wise 846 here for Sofa, not getting the bar over a bit earlier ago, so he wants one bar for the Tetris, perfect. Against 722 here on Jacobo's side. Sofa on the home stretch of level 19 speeds, as we are, as you can see, only 5 lines away. 1 possible Tetris, so 950, just more or less one off level. I max out here on level 28 for Sofa. Let's see if we can get the final bar. Bar, please, to Sofa. Getting too high here now, so yeah, transition, they're topping out at 926, while Jacobo at 805. And this is now 2-0 for Sofa. And also, to any, yes, I just saw that there's no hosted by at home Jacob in the chat. I am the second German guy who has like a Jacob name. It's kind of confusing. But now my name is also in the chat. And yes, Medros is saying no bars before level 29. And of course at level 29 we have reached the so-called kill screen. Meaning there's not really anything that you can do. You generally kinda just top out at that point. So let's start game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris, and also saying, I heard the German. I guess my accent is existing. I'm somewhere between I should work on my accent and also, we are in Europe and having accent that is still understandable is kind of the charm over here of living in the European countries. CTech has said that for, I feel like forever, that having different casters and hearing the different nationalities is what makes Tetris events in Europe so much fun. Compared to, for example, in the United States, where basically all people have this same-ish accent. Of course, there's regional differences between, for example, Texas and New York. We can see here Jacobo getting quite high, taking with a nice safety triple into Tetris for Jacobo. And 2 Tetris to Jacobo against 1 Tetris on Sofa's side. Sofa struggling quite a bit here in the beginning. Looks like this has been a rough start so far. Next Tetris to Jacobo. Nice S-pin here on Sofa's side. Yeah, and Sofa in the process of cleaning up. Should be open in just one more line and openness here on Sofa's side. Point-wise it is 39 for Sofa against 82 for Jacobo. So Jacobo having around about 40k as a lead against Sofa. And Vaidra saying, same accent in the US, are you talking... That's why I said kinda. There's regional differences, but there's, kinda still the American accent compared to, for example, the shift on Jacobo's side. And that's a top out. And a now 3-0 for Sofa. Yeah, what I want to say is there's, of course, differences, but in general, there's a difference between Americans and Europeans. That's all that I meant, and you know how different it is. But yeah, let's focus on game number 4 now, as this could be the last game that we see between these two players. If Sofa wins this, he has won the match, and he is already guaranteed a single point here for the standings, which means match point for Sofa in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay, Jacobo has started. We're waiting a bit here on Sofa's side. Let's see how this game will go. Potentially the last game. Jacobo needs to win this game in order to have to stay in the match and to potentially get a point for the standings. Of course, for that he needs to win the next 3 games. The point was 39 against 44. Once again, a bit of a rougher start here for these players, having quite a lot to burn, getting a bit dirty here in the beginning. So the last 2 seeds definitely not what you normally want here when you play a match. But that's what you need to play around. And what makes Tetris also interesting, of course, is that you have the SPS, same piece set, meaning both players get the exactly same pieces, and there's much less RNG involved than compared to playing different seeds here. And Jacobo currently being in the cleanup process, so far only 1 line away, or 2 lines away, that he has just cleared, and capable of going 1 high. We can see Jacobo also now potentially going 1 high, realistically going 1 high to be fair. So far having 1 more small hole in the stack. This was position where I was like, he could try to clean that up, but then he has put more and more weight on the hole here. Which means so far still going for the 1 high. And next Tetris to Sofa. It is 147 for Sofa against 114 for Jacobo. Which means you have a small lead here for Sofa that is now decreasing a bit. Okay, Sofa, last adjustment of that bar here. At least I hope and assume it was an adjustment, not a misdrop. And yeah, now Sofa going for the center well. Jacobo going for the standard right well here. And Sofa is kind of waiting for the bar, is now taking some safety burns, open once again, getting the bar perfect. And Tetris to Sofa, 199 for Sofa against 168 here on Jacobo's side. Sofa now able to go for the standard well. So yeah, despite Sofa struggling a bit here using the center well, Jacobo wasn't able to catch up, but now we can see both players have a clean stack. And I assume that we should see a lot of Tetrises here in the second half. Of course, the beginning of this seed has been a huge suffer game. You can see the 4-4, 8-2, 1-4 here. So same seed for both players as I just mentioned a bit earlier. That's what the seed is. You can always watch, take a look at it over here. Okay, Sofa getting a big tie here. He didn't take the S4 double. Would have expected that. Luckily got a triple out of that. Now net bar and Tetris to Sofa hang that T piece. Not gonna be the end of the world as he got the bar over. If that had cost him the dash for the bar, then of course that would have been game over pretty much here on Sofa side. And yeah, 288 for Sofa, 248 here for Jacobo, so Sofa able to build up a nice small lead here in the beginning, or like on 18, as we are now on the last 30 lines of level 18 before our level 19 transition. Yeah, earlier I believe Maedros said that this was gonna be a close match and a hype match. So far, it feels like Jacobo has not been able to perform as well as he has in the past. So let's see if maybe in this game Jacobo can show us on level 19 what he is capable of and take at least one game of Sofa's, I guess D-pad. Makes a bit more sense than shoulders. On the counters of Tetris, maybe neck, because we have our neck and neck meme. In case you don't know, neck and neck comes from the good old CWC, I believe 2017 game days, when we had two players having, you know, long necks play against each other, and the commentators were like, it's neck and neck. Specifically, it was Jonas and Jeff, especially Jeff. So yeah, small context if you ever wondered about the Tetris neck and neck, and we're a few lines away from level 19, as Jacobo just reached level 19, 375 and 456 here for Sofa, so we have about a 75k lead here for Sofa. Sofa clean, Jacobo needing to take a few burns here before our transition. That long bar on Sofa side also didn't look that amazingly well, but he's getting the next Tetris. Jacobo in the meantime is open, has built up for the next bar, and Tetris getting the next bar, and Tetris to Jacobo into 409 against 509, so pretty much a 100k lead here for Sofa at the same lines. Next Tetris to Jacobo, Sofa taking some small burns, you're getting the next bar, Tetris to Sofa. And here once again, looking like these players were able to transition nicely to level 19, no big issues in this tag, no misdrops. And now 19, which in NTSC is the fastest speed that you can comfortably play using dash, is happening here for these players. We can see Jacobo getting a bit high in the stack, but is getting the pieces and is burning over here. Potentially, no. I want to say potentially going for a dirty Tetris, but he didn't quite get the pieces required for that. And then you should oftentimes just go for the bit safer strategy. But we can see 678 for Sofa, 483 here for Jacobo, up to 515 at the same points, which means you have like a 160k lead here for Sofa, which is a massive lead. It's like a 4 Tetris lead at this point. Oh, and we have, of course, good old advertisements for cheap viewers on wherever scam. Already banned, as we always should. Yeah. Jacobo's board requiring a bit more burns than Sofa. Sofa potentially just 2 lines away, getting a J piece or bar. Now had to put the green S piece on top, which means one more line, but Jacobo is still high, still needing to burn quite a lot. And it doesn't look like he's able to go for any nice strategies, especially after the long bar misdrop. Which means Jacobo tops out, and our Canadian player was able to get a 4-0 sweep and 3 points for the standings. So, of course, thanks a ton to Jacobo for playing. I hope you had an amazing time over here and are comfortable or like proud of what you were able to achieve. I feel like it was a bit under your normal performance, but those days sadly happen. And of course, congratulations to our, as I said, Canadian player for winning this match and potentially getting the bar. Okay, let's see. Getting quite high on the right side. This is not the... And now lagging. Okay, early shift of that SP. Getting the bar. Max out to Sofa. Perfect. End of the match for Sofa. Exactly what he wants to achieve. I will now report this game. It is SaltedSofa 4-0 against Thirsty Jacobo, of course. So if I now go over to the bracket, we can see Sofa in place, rank number 3. The only player in the top 3 who has lost a match so far. But Tommy and Sofa both have 1 match left to go. So let's see how they will be able to perform there. And of course, as always, we also have a match to Reno. Didn't plug that during the match. But if you want to support the players here, and then feel free to donate to the match arena. And of course, Sofa, you're welcome for the stream. It was a pleasure. Was, you know, scheduled kinda clutch, you could say, just as the next was. But luckily it worked out. So yeah, let's see who we can rate. CTM qual, road to, there's 1.4, so that gets the perfect rate over here to Mark PMO. I cannot rate the channel. Huh. Okay, if Mark doesn't want the cloud, then I don't know. We can write Tolstoy, you know. He is playing Game Boy, which is an amazing version, so enjoy a bit of Game Boy Tetris over there on Tolstoy's side. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing, I hope you had a lovely time, and enjoy whatever's coming next to you. Or for you. Goodbye.